Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, so y'all know what that means. We are live for another episode of Book Talk Live. And today is a continuation of last week, but I got phenomenal guests in the house once again. He's teaching how to become a TED Talk speaker, none other than Mr. Derrick Pearson. How you doing today, brother?
Sugar Ray, it's always a blessing. Thank you for making time for me in your space, bro.
Oh,
Pleasure to be here.
listen, it's an honor. I'm humbled just to be sharing space with you. Listen, and I'll give a brief introduction for those that are like, you humble to share space. Yeah, absolutely. I am humbled to share space with this man. This man is a 3-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, a 2-time, I said that right, 2-time TED Talk speaker, and the owner. I just love saying it. I love saying it. The owner of 93.7 FM, The Ticket in Nebraska. So he is the praises are all high for Mr. Derrick Pearson. But I want you to go ahead and once again tell the people a little bit more about you. Share a little bit more of your story, because when we dive in today, I want to give them the goods, the good, the bad, and the ugly of how to make this thing a reality.
Yeah, I said, you say you love when you say it. I love it when you say it too. Like, it's good to hear. It's good to hear that a little kid from Green Valley, Arlington, Virginia, has those things behind his name. Um, and we've talked about the value of name and the responsibility that goes with it. Um, I'm I'm nothing special. I just love hard and loud. And in the space that we share, it's the louder and stronger love is around you, that becomes what surrounds you in greater form.
Yeah.
Like, I came from a family that was full of love. Like, I grew up in a house with 7 brothers and sisters. Um, there was not always a man in the house, but when there was, the final few years of my life, he added more love to that house and to that home. I found out much later in my life that I had other siblings that I was not aware of, and again, more love, more people to love, and more people to be loved by. The louder I got in love, the louder the universe, more closely the universe listened. So I'm an athlete. Was an athlete. I'm old now. Uh, I was
I
an
know.
athlete. Yeah, I have to figure that in the proper tense. I was athletic once. Now I'm the old wise dude who sits around sharing his mistakes and flaws so that other people don't have to repeat them. That's what this is uh, telling stories with direction, purpose, and love as the ultimate motivation, direction, and GPS for it. So, yeah, I was a multiple sport athlete, multiple sport coach. Uh, I've done everything in this life that I shouldn't do, and I'm still here. Um, I'm now working on doing all the things that I should have been doing all along. And I had to learn who I wasn't to learn who I should be.
Come on now.
So, on this journey that we're on, I'm just simply going to shout to people, do the good thing, put down the bad thing, consider yourself as a part of the good, love often, including and especially yourself. So, for anybody that's in this space today, it is a pleasure to sit here with you. Uh, Celebrate Sugar Ray for his ability to vehicle for great storytelling and ideas. And then today, at some point, we'll share information on how, one, whether you think you should do a TED, do you want to know how to do it? Um, I can't give you all the secrets to the sauce because that's 59 years and a whole lot of scars and mistakes behind it.
Oh yeah.
But what I can tell you is go deep enough to find out how important this is for you to do. Is your idea worth sharing so meaningful to you and so purposeful for you that you know that other people need to hear it, other people need to live by it? Whatever challenge that this thing addresses, you're not the only person with that challenge, and you damn sure shouldn't be the only person with the solution.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Listen, um, there's layers and levels to that. One thing I love about anytime I'm talking with DP, um, is the subject, the topic, love is always in the middle of it, and that's something that I think we've gotten away from as people, just in general. Your first TED talk was all about love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tell us a little bit more about that TED talk. And I remember the story from last week that you told, that it was how it came to be. But tell us why you chose the topic of love for a TED talk of all the things that you've done.
Well, to get to the core of it, my idea worth sharing is that all great stories, no matter the subject or topic, are love stories.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have love for yourself, love for the universe, love for a significant other, love for a skill set, love for a city, love for a country, uh, all the ideas that are worth sharing are love based. Now you don't scream love in it. I just happen to choose to say, listen, I was going to call a go to go. Love for me is God is love. So every great thing, every good thing, as my people would say, can't spell GOOD without GOD.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it was that we need to, as a society, stop waiting for superheroes to show up and fix things. We actually have to create them. And Sugar Ray, I know I see you got the cape tucked in today. I appreciate that, right? That the next opportunity for you to enhance somebody's greatness, enable somebody's greatness, identify their greatness, support their greatness, shine the light on their greatness, and then support their greatness. That's all superhero business. Like teachers out there, nurses out there, doctors, lawyers, people, delivery people, folks in the emergency room. Those are all superheroes who go to work every day. And some days they're not identified as such. So we need to do better, which is love out loud. Like you see something good, say something good.
There you
If
go.
you need something good, be something good. And if something good needs to be done, do it. So as a coach and as an educator, it's my job to identify greatnesses in people who may or may not know that they exist.
Mm.
So as a coach, we think in sports, the biggest, strongest, tallest, fastest, right? That's the easily identifiable. The best player on any team is easily identified. But teams' success is built specifically on the roles of support that are around that great player. Like Batman needs Robin, so we understand that. Shaq and Kobe, whoever was wearing the cape that day, great, Brady needs Gronk, and some days, right, they need each other.
Yeah.
So I had to find not only the best player on my team, but as a coach, I spend more time with the least talented player on my team.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to measure every year, I have a pretty good idea about how good my team is going to be by the least talented player out there, because that's the one I'm going to spend the most time with. That's the one that's going to set the bottom for what's allowed and what's accepted. Now, if I can elevate him, if I can elevate him,
You can elevate that team.
ah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
boat stands a little prouder, a little taller, the back straight a little bit more. So on one team, there was a young fellow named Carl, and Carl was the smallest. Carl was he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, It wasn't anything, but he loved the sport. He loved baseball. And Carl said, look, I'll do whatever it takes, whatever you need from me. Right? You need me to carry the bags, you need me to pick up all the balls, you need me to load the bats, whatever it is. But what happened through osmosis is him being connected to the program and staying closest to me. Carl learned how to get better at the game that he loved. And the most important message in this thing was for Carl to keep showing up, even when it got tough. Like when he had to face my best player. At first, it wasn't pretty. But as the season evolved, Carl evolved. And it's, well, look, hey, man, I can throw this break ball down there. He might chase that. I got myself a shot. Well, it turns out, last game of the season, I gave Carl a start. Carl got out there and did his thing. He did his thing against our best opponent. And Carl became a hero that day. Like it was purposeful. The other kid was a kid who, quite frankly, could run this. He could run this country one day. He's that great. But he needed a nudge when it came to leadership. That he was thinking about the best and not thinking about the rest. Mm. And then as a leader, you have to say, well, you may not need this, but he might. And shouldn't you as a leader cover his tail? And he said, look, right? He's now a state trooper in the state of Virginia. Again, if one day I woke up, if I lived that long enough and I found out that he was going to run for president, I would not be surprised because he's that kind of dude. So instead of sitting on our hands and sitting back watching, we all have impact, as Chip says, impact and influence, right?
Yeah.
That we all have that. So what we need to do is use that to push people in the right direction, not to make them stagnate, not to ride piggyback, but so that they can go be great. Ideally, as a coach, you want your players to have a greater life than you do. The same thing with parenting, same thing with mentoring. That's all this is, was love can do that. Love is the only thing that can do that. Right? It just is. Love is the only thing that can fix. And the truth is, love fixes everything that ails us if we allow it. But we forget. We forget.
Absolutely. Listen, we are talking with Derrick Pearson, DP, as he's affectionately known by those that know and love him. We're gonna keep that theme of love going. And he is a 3-time Amazon #1 bestselling author, the owner, and I'm going to say that as many times as I can, the owner of 93.7 FM, The Ticket, and a 2-time TED Talk speaker. We're getting ready to take a quick commercial break. Got a new sponsor, and we're going to be sharing their info as well, because a lot of y'all out there are looking for opportunities to put yourself and get yourself more visibility. We'll be taking a quick break. Probably be back in less than 30 seconds. Be right back with you. Like I said, quick commercial break. I just wanted y'all to know that there is an opportunity, and the sponsor is Boss Up Houston Network, owned by my better half, Miss Shamir Destin, and they offer podcasts, they offer advertising, they offer marketing services. They are actually in charge of the marketing that we do for authors. So if you're looking to get your name out there, you're looking to get your business out there, then you definitely want to contact them. Email them at bossuphouston@gmail.com. That's bossuphouston@gmail.com. So extended commercial, right? But like I said, I gotta show love to the better half, show love to wifey, because they do some amazing things. But for those of you that are just joining us, listen. If you just joining us, you are just joining us. You have missed out on some great talk. This is part 2 of a series on how to get your first TED Talk, because there's a lot of people out here that are speakers, that are authors, that are coaches, that are entrepreneurs, and you need more visibility for yourself. A TED Talk is an excellent way to get that message out there. And not only is it an excellent way for you to get that message out there, but it's an excellent way, prayerfully, that you can use to help others grow, whether it be in their business, in their life, or share your story and your message of triumph and overcoming. And that's what we are talking today with the young man you see before you, Mr. Derrick Pearson. Again, as I said, just recently, he is a 2-time TED Talk speaker, so he has experience. But I'm going to give y'all a little bit more insight on that. I'm going to go through the other credentials because I love saying them. 3-time Amazon #1 best-selling author and the owner of 93.7 FM The Ticket out of Nebraska. As a 2-time TED Talk speaker, he has not only done it for himself, he's also helped others. He's helped, I want to say, at least 15 others to secure their TED Talks so that they can get their message out there, and curated for 7 of those 15. So what I want to say to you all is, if you're not locked in with this young man, you need to get locked in, because we're unpacking it slowly. How to get your TED Talk, your first TED Talk, and he's done it multiple times, so he doesn't just know by luck. He knows the blueprint, and he is actually a master curator for the TED Talk experience. So, DP, a couple of things that I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go slow with this because I want people to be able to unpack this. Take a few notes, enough to be dangerous if they are serious about having their TED Talk. So one of the things that people, like you said earlier, is knowing if it's a good topic or not. How would you know if it's a good talk, a good TED Talk topic?
Is it authentic?
Mm.
Is it purposeful? Is there science behind it that can acknowledge, confirm, or debunk your idea? It has to be an idea worth sharing that is unique to you and to everybody else. Yeah. Like, you can't go and do, like, the first thing you need to do is take your idea and put it in Google and see who else did it. Yeah. Right? Like who else? Has anybody else done this? Is this a new idea? Because it has to be a new idea. They don't want the same old. They don't want the run through. What makes it unique in any space is that if you feel like your journey will help somebody else as they go through it, or go through whatever they're going through, right? Is it a universal message? Is there absolute in it? Don't speculate. Don't assume. Can you confirm? Can you validate your idea and your concept? Right? But a lot of people think, they believe that TED and TEDx experience is motivational speaker, fist pump, and no, that's not what it is at all. That's not what it is. I want to thank Terry Kingston, speaker, who matter of fact, she just got her first case. So I'll tell you how amazing she is. She's the one that led me down this path. I wouldn't have a TED without Terry Kingston. But Terry didn't get her TED until after I got my 2. I got 2 before the person that taught me how to do it got 1.
Come on.
And she was so powerful in what she did, and so helpful and so thoughtful and very direct about it. Do not go through the experience if you feel like you know everything already. That's not it.
Be coached.
Yep. If you're not coachable, no. If you believe you're smarter than the TED experience and TED universe, no, it's not for you. So there's that. Along the way, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to go through the process to share my story and the whatever lesson behind this? Like, not everybody wants TED Talk. Literally everybody wants TED Talk. Do you want to go through that work? Do you want to go through 9 months and then not get it? Do you want to come out of your pocket? Because I got news for you. I'm worth it, but I'm sure not cheap. Right? Like I understand the value of what I put into it. I understand what Terry put into it. I understand what my co-TED speakers went through. I've done 2 TEDs. I've been accepted into 5 TEDs, 5, with 5 different ideas. But I've only done 2 because, quite frankly, they don't want you to be a career TED speaker.
Yeah.
So I chose the first 2 because I was like, let me get it in before they change their mind, you know. The TED police. Look, I fully expected the TED police to show up on the stage and go, get off the stage, man. What are you doing up here? You know, this is crazy. But there's a red, if you pay attention to TED, there's a red circle that sits on the floor where you're supposed to be. And I'd heard about the red circle. But the first time when I went to Lander, Wyoming and put my boots in that red circle, boy, let me tell you, your life changes because you understand that this was a huge journey. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It was easier for me than it was for most. But breaking when the matrix slows down and the code becomes clear, then it's a responsibility. And now it's my chance to help other people get their opportunities. I know what being a TED speaker has done for me. And I want that for other people. I know I'm not the smartest person I know. I'm not the hardest working person I know. I'm just the most blessed person I know. So I say to people, let me help you with your blessing. Let me help you in your space. Let me help you get to the thing that you're trying to get to. And on the way, you're going to meet yourself.
Come on.
Nobody knows themselves until they go through this process.
Wait. Hold on. You got to say that again because that one just hit me. But I want you to break that one down once more. Well, along the way, you're going to.
This process will introduce you to yourself. Like you think you know who you are. You think you know how you process. You think you know how strong you are, how fearless you are, how intelligent you are, how funny, how bright, how authentic. But this process is a mirror with a mirror behind it and a mirror behind it. It's got light, it's got dark, it's got light. It will distract you. It will draw you in. And then you'll find yourself 3 mirrors in trying to figure out, Sugar Ray, how did I even remember that story? Like that's a story I forgot about. But I had to go so deep that I had to wake up the ghost of Sugar Ray past to be able to get this message out. Like you're gonna unpeel the onion and you're gonna go, wait a minute, I didn't know I was an onion like this. I didn't know I had 4 levels. No, bro, we're talking about 7, 8 layers deep before you get to the funk. See, we're not talking about the clean part of the onion. We're talking about that middle, that crispy, oh my goodness gracious. I need to cry and laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that's what this process is going to do to you. And then once you're in that process, whatever it is that you do professionally, you're going to do it better. Because you have a greater understanding of yourself. And greater understanding of self allows you greater understanding of others. It removes the curiosity of the other. Because you understand how much you thought you knew yourself, and then you went, I didn't know I had this level 5. Well, wait, that brother might have level 5 too.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? What moves him? What inspires him? What makes him memorable? And then most importantly, what makes him valuable?
Come on.
See, it's not the first layer of the onion that does the work. That's never the case. It's the depth of the onion that sets it off and changes everything. Everything changes at the middle of it. And so that the process is good. You'll have to ask yourself some really difficult questions. But the part I'll tell you, the beauty of asking yourself really difficult questions is that you come up with remarkable, powerful answers. And you've got to give yourself that opportunity. You've got to give that to yourself. It's amazing to go through.
Man, listen, when you start talking about the onion and when you start talking about along this journey is where you'll find yourself. I've never done a TED talk yet.
Yeah.
Yet. Me and DP got something behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We'll bring it to light.
Yeah.
But somebody told me a while back, they said something similar. They said your business is not going to go to the level that you want it to go to until you heal that little boy within. And that's peeling them layers that happened before. And most people aren't willing to do that work. Man.
Well, it's even deeper that for you, it's going to be you're talking to that 10-year-old you.
Mm-hmm.
Grown-up you talking to the 10-year-old you is the greatest conversation you can have. Right? Because you're going to explain to a 10-year-old in 10-year-old terms the lessons that you've learned since you last talked to him.
Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And you go, hey, little Sugar Ray, you ain't even gonna believe this, man. You ain't even gonna believe this. Like, I'm mad at the LeBron people for stealing my idea. Right? They got the LeBron, like the current LeBron talking to young LeBron. Listen, partner, don't steal my idea, LeBron. Go get your own, bro. You don't need mine. But the reality is the current you that talks to younger you is simply setting the table for tomorrow's you, mm-hmm. which is going to be TEDx speaker Sugar Ray Destin, right? And you go, that dude is going to know things that no other Sugar Ray has ever known, and Sugar Ray will never be the same again. He will never be the same again, and that's the beautiful part.
Man, come on! I'm looking forward to the journey. I know. For those of y'all that are out here that are tuned in, listen, we're unpacking the TEDx experience, how to get your TED talk, because a lot of people have the desire and just don't have the know-how. We're actually talking to one of the best in the industry. Has helped 15 people thus far, at least 15 people thus far, to secure their TED Talks, and has curated for 7 of them while being a 2-time TED Talk speaker himself, Mr. Derrick Pearson. And so next question that I have for you, what are 3 things, if you can just say, these 3 things are things that you should do to prepare for a TED Talk. What are those 3 things?
Oh, truth. Truth is location. So I like to speak in GPS terms, right? Okay. Truth is location. Where I am right now in my life, my existence, my truth. You have to know truth. Then you have to know friction. What is going on? And I'm not talking that first level friction. Remember, I'm not talking about that. Location tells me where I am. Am I in a good place, bad place? Am I young to it, new to it, old to it, past to it? Who am I? Has to be told first. You can tell the greatest story ever told, but if I don't love you, it's not gonna matter. So you've got to tell people what your location is on this planet and in this universe. How did you get here? What left you in the condition that you're in? Yeah. And then you have to figure out what was the friction that got you here? What was the friction that you encountered? What was the thing that went wrong? What is the thing that you want to address? What is the problem in the universe that needs your idea to fix? Like, you've got to have something that you're adding to it. Like, what are you adding to? Write those two words down. Is this thing adding to?
That's good.
Right?
Good.
That's what this thing has to be. It has to be adding to. So what is the thing that bothers you that you demand be fixed through your action and idea right now? And then the mission, the goal, the pot at the end of the rainbow. What happens when we get there?
Yeah.
What happens when you take where you are and who you are and the friction that exists? And then what happens when you fix it? What happens when it gets better? What happens because of your idea, right? And I'll add a fourth because they're going to add a fourth. They're going to add, well, what are you going to do about it? Right? What are you going to do about it, Mr. Great Idea Man? Are you active? Right? The thing that love requires action all the time. What are you going to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? See, Sugar Ray's going to give me his okay. He's going to tell you who he is. Look, man, this is what I used to be. This is how I became the way I became. I'm here. I tell you, but here's the deal. The things that got in my way, I figured out. Like, did I run through the wall? Did I climb over the wall? Did I run around the wall? Did I Batman this joint? Did I Superman this joint and fly over? And then once I got over, what was I expecting? What did I want to be on the other side? That's the goal. Now, that wall could be addiction. That wall could be finances. That wall can be education. That wall can be low self-esteem. That wall can be science. That wall can be, it could be bird versus magic, right? Depending on who asked the story, right? The other one is the friction, right? Yeah. The other one is the friction. And within that friction, greatness was the real friction, right? That two greatnesses together will create a greater greatness. So through all of that, and then what happened to basketball after Kobe, after Shaq, after Magic and Bird? What happened was everybody had to get better. They had to get more athletic. They had to get more skilled. All of those things. And then where does that leave us? What is the NBA now? What is the game of basketball now? Well, you cannot tell that story without telling about young Bird, young Magic, the friction, the game of the century, and then the rivalry that followed.
Yes, sir. Come on. Listen, I'm one thing I'm loving about this conversation is that this is a lot of information that's being unpacked, but it's being unpacked in such a way that there's a lot of value in this, right? We talked about the onion. We talked about going deep. We talked about where you were. We talked about now the GPS, and then what are you going? Here's the question that most people just in life in general miss. I heard your complaint. I heard the story. I heard that, I listened to you for 3 minutes. I'm only supposed to give you 2 to tell me what was wrong. What you gonna do to fix it though? And that's the beautiful question that changes lives and changes societies. Listen, we're talking to Derrick Pearson, 2-time TED Talk speaker, owner, and I'm always gonna pause when I say that, owner of 93.7 FM The Ticket, 3-time Amazon #1 best-selling author. We're gonna take another quick commercial break. I know this sponsor will, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break and be right back in about 2 and 2, and pack a little bit more on how you can become a TED Talk speaker as well. Business of Books Mastermind Coaching Program has been around for the past 3 years. Myself as a coach, we've actually helped hundreds of authors get their books published and even more to become Amazon #1 best-selling authors. Over the past year and a half, we started our Amazon bestseller launch program, and 225 plus to date have all become #1 best-selling authors in multiple categories. Now, the reason that we started this coaching program is for people like you who you've either just started working on your first book and you don't know where to go with it. You're looking for a blueprint to creating your book. You're wondering how to market your book. You're wondering about how to connect with your audience. And most importantly, how am I going to sell this book and create income from it? These are all things that we teach you inside of 90 Days to Bestseller. The reason that this program is relevant to you is because you want to write that book and you want to be successful. Now that person may not be you. Here's the opposite. You've already written your book and you want to relaunch it as a bestseller. Been there, done that. My first book, I actually changed the cover twice for that exact same reason. The first cover, I loved it. But for some reason, after a while, it got stale. It was sitting on the shelf. So I created my own cover. Bad idea, right? The reason that it was a bad idea is because it looked like somebody was creating a network marketing flyer for my book. Went back and let a professional do it. Keyword, professional. Once that professional got their hands on my book, changed the book cover, it created a completely different vibe for my book. And here's what we've done as a result. From that change, from those slight changes, having a professional designer, going and hiring a professional editor, that book has actually launched a career for me that has taken me around the globe. And when I say around the globe, I've spoken at places all across the country and even done a few virtual international workshops here in the past few months. Now, for you, we can show you the exact same thing. We have the blueprint, we have the tools, we have the system that will work to help you get your book published and launched as an Amazon bestseller. Now, how long does it take? Typically, it takes us about 90 days. We're not going to tell you that it's going to be overnight. We're not going to tell you that it's going to be easy, but we will tell you that we have a blueprint that works and you should be next. Come on now. Listen, for those of y'all that are paying attention, yes, you do need to be in 90 days to bestseller. That system works. Over 225. It's actually at 238 Amazon #1 best-selling authors to date, and we do break it down for you, teaching you the basics, the business of books, as well as the marketing, branding, and how to become a bestseller. But let's get back to business, because I'm in the studio with my brother Derrick Pearson. For those of you that are just joining us, Derrick Pearson is a 3-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, the owner, and he's one of those 238 that we've launched. He is the owner of 93.7 FM The Ticket in Nebraska, but it is streamed worldwide, so you can tune in 18 hours a day for sports radio. And a 2-time TED Talk speaker. Today we're talking with him on how to secure your first TED Talk. And if you're a speaker, a coach, entrepreneur, a potential influencer, this is the talk for you, because it is something that, as you'll see in your career going forward, it's needed. It kind of gives you that extra level of credibility. One more question before we get to the last few. You mentioned that being a TED Talk speaker has opened up some doors for you that you didn't expect. What were some of those doors that you were able to walk through as a result?
Sure, it's funny. Like, I've been in sports, decades, several decades. But there is a professional mentality that TED offers and provides. Now, original thought, original idea, original concept. Then it is the creation of said talk. It is 16 minutes of telling the greatest story you've ever told in your entire life. 16 minutes. Not 9, not 22, not 18, 30 because I felt like it. No. There's your window. And then you have to memorize it word for word as you presented it on time in front of a crowd, in front of cameras, on purpose. Oh, there are a whole lot of people who talk for 16 minutes. But can you be on time? Right? Because the people who pay good money for speakers, can you write something worth hearing? Can you speak something worth hearing? And can you do it on my time and get out?
Come on.
See? And everybody feels like they can do this thing. Everybody in their mind. My thing is you can be trained on it. I'm not a genius. You can train yourself to this. But it requires training to do it from somebody who's knowledgeable and who's willing to do that for you. And I'll tell you, I say no to a lot of people because after that first engagement, you go, no, because remember last time we talked about the value of name. As a curator and a TED master, I don't want anybody messing up my name. Like it's like you throwing together some crappy art and putting Sugar Ray's name on it. No. So what happens from that professional level? People now have living, breathing, cellular proof over what your presentation will be. Like they know I can write because nobody wrote what I just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
They know I can speak because nobody said what I just said. And they know I'm a professional because I walked out in the toughest of presentation stages. And that's the grad class. Look, there are a million speakers that can't TED it. That's the master's class, is when you put your foot on that red dot and deliver. So people who need speakers, who need somebody they can trust, which is the big word. People will allow people to talk, but when they pay you to talk, they better trust that you are going to be worth the money. And nobody wants to lose their job because they decided to pay you to put on a bad speech or presentation.
Exactly.
You know, there's depth to that. Like, no, man, I'm not losing my job for you. So it opened doors to a higher level of clientele. I've been asked to do commencement speeches at high schools. I've been asked I was actually the keynote speaker for the local Navy ROTC Marine Corps ball, which is, if you haven't done that, that's an eye opener. That's for the state of Virginia, Boys and Girls Club, United Way, Big Brother, Big Sister. The names are different now than speaking in front of the local team. These are business folks, corporate who invite you into their space, and this validates you and allows them to trust you.
And listen, I love it because I know, like you said, doing those commencements and military balls and speaking, those are major events, and I can attest, nobody if you do an event once, and whether it be bad time or poor speech or the crowd is not into it or just one bad review, after you speak, they will pull back, and that'll be the last time.
And the word travels fast in the speaker's world.
Exactly. As the guy said at the beginning of the movie Black Panther, when the two ladies knocked on the door, he said, "I don't know. It's two chicks at the door, and they They don't look like they from around here. He said, well, he said they won't. He said better open it because they won't knock again.
That's it. That's it. That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So I wanna know. I think we got time. What is it that you specifically, if I come to you and I am interested in becoming a TED Talk speaker, I've heard the reviews. One, and I'm gonna say this first because this is crucial. You have helped 15 people get their TED Talk speaking, TED Talks. So this is not your first time. You're not playing around. You have a blueprint for this. You've been asked to do 5 TED Talks and only did 2 because you wanted to make sure that you weren't just going back and forth and becoming, like you said, a career TED speaker. You've curated for 7 of those. And the last thing that needs to be heard is that there is a price associated with what you do, and it is a premium price because you're worth it. And I want those who are tuning in and those who are listening to get used to saying that I am worth it, right? Don't undervalue your services, and we're not going to allow you to undervalue ours. And so what is it that if I'm coming to you as a speaker and I say, you know what, DP, man, I'm so excited because I got this TED Talk and I know it's gonna be a hit, it's gonna be major. Can you help me? What does that look like?
Yes, I can help you. My helping you and you hiring me are 2 totally different things. Like there's a difference. I ask people this all the time. Your budget is not my work. Are you aware of that? Like you need your budget is not my value. Are you aware? Because when you become a TED speaker, see, Sugar Ray, what you charging folks now is not what you're going to charge them then. and when you become a curator, what would you charge folks to change their life? Well, that's what I charge. That's what I charge. Because my time, even if let's say we go through 33% of the process, I'm never going to get that 33% back. Like I put it in the universe to you. I put it into you. That's me pouring water. I've got a gallon of water and I just poured 33% of the water into you. I can't get that 33% back. Not the same and not of value. So I don't work that way. I can't work that way. As you see below, there's a lot of things that I do, of course. Sugar Ray knows that I've got 3 more books that's locked and loaded already that I've committed to, and another 2. You can, folks know Griff from Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell. Griff is going to do his first TEDx next Saturday, right? Next Saturday at the very place that I did my first TED. There's no coincidence. There's no coincidence.
Come on.
So the value behind it is you know what it means to you to elevate yourself. I can help you. I will help you. Reach out. I will reach out to you. I will answer. I will respond. But if you are going to reach out to ask me to do it for free, because then I'd have 5 million people doing it for free. Everybody would come running. And when you pay for it, you get me. Yeah. So you're not getting the same as the person who didn't pay anything. I'm not that dude. I'm not going to devalue your dollar, your time, your interest, your passion, your love for this thing. I won't do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And one key is that people value, like you said, people value what they pay for.
Right. Like they do. There's no respect for things that were given to you. And if I give you a TED, if I walk you through a TED, if I hand you through a TED, I have done a disservice to the thing that I say has the most value.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do that. I simply won't do it. My thing is this: if it's important to you, show me. Like, you can tell me you love a thing, but action is required. We've talked about this. Don't tell me you would love to be a TEDx speaker, but aren't willing to act like you value it. No, I don't work that way. And quite frankly, those are not the people that Ted wants in his family.
Yeah.
They don't want that in their family. What they want is somebody that will aspire to this thing, will elevate to this thing, will invest in this thing. I know how much I paid to be a TED master. I'm not giving you nothing.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Listen, absolutely. And y'all heard the term, TEDx master, which means he's not just a TEDx talk. And a lot of people say that they can do this, but the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, right? So we've made the payment. How long is that process? And I know you said it was about a 9-month process, but what are some of the things that you're going to?
So imagine we're going to spend anywhere to 30 minutes to an hour a week together, from first meeting to your presentation, whenever that is. Like your idea that you're ready to do this. Now, again, it's the same thing. If I ask Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady to run the same 100 yards, they're not going to get there at the same time. Yes. Different levels of expertise, the different level of acceleration. Some people will get it quickly. Griff got it in 4 months. Tim got it in 7. Monique got it in 10. Some haven't gotten it at all. That they're the 8 that we're talking about that didn't, of the 8 of the 15. But the 7 who got it literally spent more time practicing it than creating it. Like, I knew pretty quickly that they understand the concept. They did the work that I asked them to do. And of the 8, there's still 3 people that made it to the finals of getting a TED. Like they were in the final 10 of a TED that took 7. Like out of hundreds, like they got to the top 10. Yeah. So those 3 will have TEDs within the next 6 months, just because they're TED ready. Like, they're ready. The other 5 were people that, life kind of moved and, money kind of got weird, and they're like, nah, we cool. But the people that got through the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So
half hour or an hour a week, depending on who you are and what your schedule is.
Yeah, and so this is why it's such a premium service that DP is offering, because time is money, and you're talking about a man who is not only a TEDx master, but also, again, a radio station owner, while consistently building that business. I know there's times that I call DP and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm in the middle of a meeting with and he's naming names, and I'm like, okay."
It's like, okay. So like those hours I set aside time, I want the person to be as committed to that. And that, look, I cannot want the TED more than you want the TED.
Say it again.
Right. Like we talk about it. You've got to show up, put in the work, like I show up and put in the work. Like, you can't come in at a different standard and then lower the standard. I'm not going to allow the TED name to be lowered. I'm not going to let my name to be lowered. And quite frankly, I'm not going to let you lower your name. So there's that. There's that. Like, you come to me, expect me to ask for 10. Like, I'm going to ask for you at 10. I don't need you at 2. I don't need you at 3. Come in at 10 and let's get the work done. And that will show me whether you're going to be added to the list of 7 or the list of 8.
Exactly. Hey, it's all about the work that goes into it. Listen, we're gonna take one more commercial break. Again, the new sponsor, my better half. We'll be back in about 2 and 2.
Oh my God! I just got through watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up. Our topic today is what's your status?
Hello fam, Ken Mills here once again.
And here at Boss Up, we like to help small business owners and entrepreneurs advertise, promote, or become a sponsor for one of our television, podcast, or radio shows. All you have to do is click the link down below to see if you qualify.
This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Listen, I love seeing that young lady in pink over and over and over and over again, right? That's the wife, and I say it proudly. That is Mrs. Destin. Or as she like to say it, Miss Destin, baby.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So we are back once again. We're joined with Derrick Pearson, DP as we call him. He's a 3-time Amazon #1 best-selling author, part of the BOBM family, one of our future ambassadors, and we'll talk more on that. I give y'all just a quick preview of what that is later. The owner, and I say it so many times because I love hearing it. The owner. We in Black History Month, so we're gonna say it. A Black owner of the radio station. Major radio station, major network, 93.7 FM, The Ticket out in Nebraska, and a 2-time TED Talk speaker. And we've been unpacking what it means to be a TED Talk speaker, talked about how to get into the process, how long it takes, the dedication required. And here's a word that I love to use, fortitude, the fortitude required, because a lot of people start something, but once it gets a little bit rough, a little bit bumpy, they give up. DP worked with those who are serious about taking it from an idea to an actual TED Talk to increase their credibility and their visibility in the industry and create more opportunities. So,
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Man, like there are a whole lot of ideas left on laptops and on yellow notepads all over this world.
Mm-hmm.
Man, get off your pad, get off your iPad, get off your notebook, go and get that work in. It's, as a coach, we say it all the time. The toughest thing in life and in sports is the ability to finish. And it's constant, it's consistent. We talk about it all the time, and you learn. How much does it mean to you? Don't tell me that you care about this thing. Don't tell me this thing matters if you're not willing to show me that it matters. And that requires action. Love and action required together. This is what it is, baby. Tell me you care. Show me you care. We can all care.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, last question for you. Because I want people to be able to connect with DP. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all that y'all have the same access to DP that I have. DP is like my brother. So we can talk throughout the day. But on a professional level, we still have each other's back and we encourage each other. That's the type of circle that we are connected to. I want to know, for somebody that's out there, they're saying, man, you know what? It's been on my heart for the past few years. I've been working at this executive job. I've been a speaker. I've been traveling around the country, or I've been traveling around the state. And people keep telling me, man, you need to get your TED Talk. You need to get your TED Talk. I just don't know how to do it. How can they work with you?
Several ways. What this business tells you, that if publishers can get to me, if corporations can get to me, if athletes can get to me, coaches can get to me, parents can get to me, y'all can get to me. There's no like, it's there. My name is my brand. If you just go on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, it's just my name. It's just my name. It'll often say LovePrints or it'll say DP, but you can go to theticketfm.com, theticketfm.com. I can be reached there. The email is simply Derrick@theticketfm.com. I'm not giving y'all the email that Sugar Ray has, because that's the bat signal, and that lets me know with superhero stuff gotta happen. But the generic, the DMs are open, the inboxes are there. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can find me there. I'll usually be tagged to Sugar Ray on some stuff. And then the Ticket FM is just a pretty good idea. And then LovePrints, LovePrints, not Prince like the little short dude, but Prince as right? Prince, PRINTS.US, not .com, not .org, LovePrints.us. And right there, it'll tell you how to reach the coach. That's me, DP.
Come on. Yeah. If you are serious, and we do mean serious, reach out. And when I say that DP is amazing, he's as much as he's done, he's down to earth. And not only is he down to earth, but he is personable, and he wants to see you win. You know, that's I'm actually pulling up your socials out of, as the youngsters said, ways that they can connect with you. He is personable, and he wants to see you win. This is one thing I can vouch for when it comes down to DP. His name speaks for itself. His brand speaks for itself. If you follow him on social media, you see he's always connected to people that are trying to go to the next level or are at the next level. So this is not just something that he's doing because, you know, I want to get paid. Let me let y'all in on a little secret. DP good. He's good. It's not about the money for him. It's truly about being able to help others, because his story is beyond phenomenal. In any of the 3 books that you're looking at, there are pieces of his story that he shared, and each of them are topped with love. So DP is all about love, and he wants to help you elevate. So connect with him on IG at Derrick Pearson, on Facebook at Derrick.Pearson.5. His web address is www.loveprints.us, and the radio station on all social networks. Look up the Ticket FM 93 or 93.7 FM, The Ticket. Make sure that you connect and follow this man. He's going great places. If you're out there, pretty soon we'll be dropping something where you can get involved in the TED experience, where you can get your TED Talk. If you
better hurry up, because Sugar Ray getting his. Like Sugar Ray already, like Sugar getting the first appointment. So y'all better go ahead and get in line.
Yeah. So if I tell y'all on my calendar, hey, I'm working with DP, I'm not answering my phone during that time.
Look out.
He didn't already told me. turn the phone off during this album.
This is how
All right.
This is how we're going to get it. But
as always, man, I want you to leave the viewers with something that they can walk away with, something that they can take and apply to their lives. It's on you.
It is simple what our responsibilities are from day to day. It is to make the next thing, the next person, the next thing, the next situation better than when we found it. Pretty simple. And the easiest way to do that is to be present and love. Do those two things with the next thing that crosses your path, because it was put on your path because you were the person that should love that thing next. Do that. Love the next thing that you cross paths with. Love whoever next, especially if it's yourself. Do that.
Absolutely. Walk in love. And listen, y'all, this has been a pleasure. DP, I'm always honored and humbled to be in your presence, the presence of such greatness. But for everybody out there, we love y'all, and we'll see y'all next week. Y'all.